of us join. So that's why I'm taking my sweet time to begin. So don't think I'm wasting your time. I'm just waiting for some more people to join who might be joining from their respective offices or classes if they're still in their final year architecture. Yeah, so my name is Ekta Gyani. I'm a professor and the program director of the Landscape Architecture program at Sushant. I will tell you more about the program as we go ahead, but I have been teaching at Sushant for more than 5 years, and I have taught for a couple of years at the Chandigarh College of Architecture as a visiting professor, and at University of California, Berkeley as a graduate student instructor in 91, 92, 93. So I have been working as a landscape architect, campus planner for more than 25 years. And the best time of my life is when I'm teaching. So won't say much more. I will give you my long bio data when you guys join. So please do join so you know where I'm coming from. Over to Arjun and then Raktim.
Okay, hello everyone. Unfortunately, my camera is not working, so you won't see my face right now. You can only hear the audio. So I have been teaching here at Sushant since 2017. I've taught various subjects: design, construction, structures, parametric design, landscape architecture, of course, history of landscape architecture, introduction to environmental design. So looking forward to see you uh, join at Sushant. See you in classes. All the best. Hope you enjoy the webinar. Yeah, over to you,
And
Ratna.
Arjun is a go-to person for technology. He's the one who's looking at cutting edge software and what we can use and what can come to our rescue. So thank you, Arjun, for doing that. And now we have Raktim. Raktim.
Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to this webinar. I'm Raktim Saha, 2016 postgrad from SPA Bhopal, and I was teaching in Purnima University for about a year, and then since 2017, I am associated with Sushant University, and I've been teaching various subjects in both master's program as well as landscape program. Bachelor's program. And I wish you all the luck and wish to see all of you on board ASAP.
Thank you, Raktim.
Thank you.
Please confirm that you can see my slides moving.
Yes, we can see your slides.
Okay.
Moving. Yes.
All right. So this is our team. We are led by Dr. Vibhuti Sachdev, who's our Dean and the Director of the Planning, Design and Architecture Schools. We have Himanshu Sanghani, Associate Dean, Suruchi Modi and I are the program postgraduate heads. Monisha is the exam head, and we have Pooja, Parul, and Nidhi, respectively heading the other master's programs, which I will talk to you about. So we do have 4 master's programs at Sushant School. Urban design was the first, which started in 2014. Landscape architecture, built heritage, and interior architecture all started in 2017. The landscape architecture program is COA recognized. We are ISOLA recognized, and we are signing a MOU with the ISOLA Education Board. So education of landscape architects is really important to us. Why SSA and why now? SSA Sushant School is 32 years old with a long legacy, lots of years of best private college in architecture, best institution in innovation and pedagogy. We every year win the best college awards at NASA's. As I told you, we are already COA recognized. Until last year, we graduated 21 students. who are all doing fabulously, some of them in academia, but most of them in successful practices, either their own practices or working in large organizations. Our location in Delhi NCR is very important. We as an institution are very accessible physically. We are right down the rapid metro line, a 5-minute walk from there. And the fact that Gurgaon is rapidly urbanizing, landscape architects have to come to its rescue. I mean, I am 100% sure that we can do a better job with urbanization if landscape architects get involved. We have lots of access to research and higher education institutions, access to jobs, and our USP, we engage in real life projects. We have a fabulous hostel on the premises. Our faculty pool is an enviable one. We have 50 full-time faculty plus 65 plus visiting faculty that are leading practitioners in the NCR. So it's very, very high impact. We have internationally trained and experienced faculty. I myself did my master's at UC Berkeley. I graduated from there in '94. I did my bachelor's from JJ College of Architecture. I graduated from there in '89. We have others from University of Pennsylvania, Michigan, CEPT, SPAs. You know this. I mean, Deepthi is our admissions counselor. Her details are here if you don't have them. You know what our eligibility criteria is, minimum of 50% aggregate marks in bachelor's. We have an online application. You have to submit a statement of purpose, and we do an interview. And I got to know a lot of you on those interviews. So some of you are familiar to me right here. We have lectures, tutorials, studios, and self-work as our modes of teaching. Studios have a ratio of 1 faculty to 5 students. Tutorials, lectures, 1:10 and 1:20 respectively. Self-work is not faculty supervised, so which means when you're in your thesis semester, you get a day of self-work. So if you need to go out of town to do some research at a site, you have that option. Project, studio, and thesis are our core courses. This is a fabulous spanking new building, and I can show you. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Can you see my cursor? Guys, can you see my cursor?
Yes, your cursor is
Yes. So this is one of our studios, and the other side of the building is our studio. So you know exactly where you're going to be placed. So I'm going to do a little question answer thing with you and use the chat to answer. The question is, we all are different human beings. We have different interests, different preoccupations. So if I were to ask you to put your bachelor's thesis into one of the quadrants, A, B, C, or D, A being aesthetics, form, history, theory of architecture, B being social concerns, livelihood, community well-being, C being environmental concerns, ecology, energy, sustainability, and D being technology, smart everything's, new materials, etc., etc. So in the chat window, and of course, use E if you think your thesis belong to more than one of these quadrants. So you can say A, D. Just answer that in the chat window, and Arjun and Raktim will tally it up, and we'll know where we are coming from and what our interests are, or where our hearts are and souls lie. So please do that right now. Arjun and Raktim, keep track of the chat window, please. Let's know you guys a little more than what I know you from your interviews. I am landscape architecture. So this is one of my projects in Mohali. It was a SEZ, and this was a landmark plaza. commercial building. And you can see I'm showing off my botanical names knowledge here. But why I'm saying I am not only, landscape architecture is not only plants. Landscape architecture is a multidisciplinary field comprising of planting, which is trees, shrubs, ground covers, creepers, paving, which means aesthetics, and landscape architecture is ecology, aesthetics, architecture, geography, geology, earth sciences, environmental psychology, behavioral sciences, art and industrial design. Anthropology, yes. Why anthropology? What happened on this site before we ever inhabited it is important to know. So landscape architecture is all about our well-being, about our health and our happiness. I love this quote. I think I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree. I don't know if you like this or you've done any readings where there is a lot of landscape talked about in literature. How many poems do you remember from your youth and childhood that was about a tree or the daffodils or everything natural? So there's a affinity of landscape with literature as well. So there was this incredible research in England done, which they called Happiness in Natural Environments in 2012, University College London and London School of Economics, where they gave all Londoners this app on their phone, and the residents of London had to say how they felt when they were indoors, outdoors, in a vehicle, and overwhelmingly, what the app showed was most of the people of London were happier when they were outdoors. So when I talked about happiness as being landscape, I was not kidding. It's been proven. Another great quote, who knows who Thomas Jefferson was? Raktim Arjun can't answer, they know this. Thomas Jefferson, anybody? Okay. So Thomas Jefferson was the president of the United States of America. And this is what he wrote: "No occupation is so delightful to me as the culture of the earth, and no culture comparable to that of a garden." So he was the president of the United States and he was an architect. You can check out his designed house called Monticello sometime. The other image on this slide is Treepedia. This was, again, you can look it up. It's real time. You can go and see the tree cover of different cities of the world. It's fascinating. And again, overwhelmingly, the cities that have more tree cover are happier cities. So these images, these little small images are of our university. I mean, you can see from 2004 to 2015. This is our campus right here. Can you see the amount of development that's happened? And these are the Aravalli foothills, if you can see my cursor. So is landscape architecture also about activism? Is it about more than just greening the space? Is it about native issues? Is it about fighting for the rights of the disenfranchised? Do you know what Greenpeace is? Greenpeace is an organization which tries to conserve land all over the world so that it's not abused. And Greenpeace has a slogan, the motto. It says, "Greenpeace exists because this fragile earth doesn't have a voice." I mean, it is so poetic. So do landscape architects do more than just green a site that an architect calls you to green? Yes, we do. And again, I'm not kidding. What I'm saying has been our preoccupation since 1966. This declaration of concern by some stalwarts of landscape architecture, Campbell Miller, Grady Clay, Ian McCarg, Charles Hammond, George Payton, John Simmons. They had the same issues that we still have 55 plus years later. Why do I know it's 55 years? Because I was born in 66, so I can easily tell you it's 55 years later. This is what they said. A sense of crisis has brought us together. What is merely offensive and disturbing today threatens life itself tomorrow. We are concerned over the misuse of the environment and the development that has lost all contact with the basic processes of nature. Air is polluted in major cities. All too soon, such polluted environments will be the national human experience. Believe it or not, this was written 55 years ago. There is no single solution, but groups of solutions carefully related to one another. The landscape architect practices a historical art. However, the landscape architect is uniquely rooted in the natural sciences. Excuse me. He or she is essential in maintaining the vital connection between man and nature. I mean, I can say this every day, and you will be saying it every day, because we can make a difference. According to the Oxford Dictionary, landscaping is one, to improve the appearance of an area of land by changing its design and planting trees. How myopic. Two, everything you see when you look across a large area of land. So do you agree, without landscape, without this component called landscape architecture, a building or a place of habitation would be a body without its limbs, completely invalid and unable to perform? Can you imagine a building that is floating in the air, is not sitting on the ground, has no landscape? The International Space Station is such a building, right? It's floating in zero gravity. It has no landscape other than a very hostile cosmos. So I want you to answer this question. First, we used to put buildings in the landscape. Now we place landscape amidst buildings. Right or wrong? All the survey participants, all the participants say yes or no in your chat. Raktim and Arjun, please tally that. First, we used to place buildings in the landscape. Now we place landscape amidst buildings. Right or wrong? Or yes or no? So here's sorry, I'm admitting a new participant. So here's a little theory I've come up with. Do you know a page orientation being landscape or portrait? Portrait is the one on your right, right? It is saying me, I am the portrait, I am all important. And a landscape orientation is saying we, look at the landscape. It's not just me, the tree, it's everything. The rootedness of this tree is contingent upon the we sensibility against the me sensibility. So we is saying we all matter. It is a matter of life and death. This is me being philosophical. I think when we become landscape architects, we all become philosophical because we care more than just that one building. We care more than just making money or making a living. So this is our footprint as landscape architects. These are some of my projects and some of the projects of our visiting faculty. I'll quickly run you through. This one on the top, you see the Pulkari design. This is in Mohali. The SEZ that I showed you an image of earlier, on how the culture of the place can also manifest itself in the landscape. This next image here is Wellman Courtyard in Berkeley, in University of California, Berkeley. We were asked to design this courtyard in this very neoclassical building neighborhood. How do you go about doing that? This on this where my cursor is 100 apartments, 7 townhouse gated community in Mohali. This, what you see, the landscape is over 3 parking floors. This image on the right is of that, the same place. And these are the townhouses you can see. This one here is in California, where we were looking at a rerouted freeway or a highway. It was impacting this impoverished neighborhood. So we actually engaged with the neighborhood in a participatory way, found out what it is that we can help them with, and designed for them accordingly. The one next to it is a large 10,000 acre master planning project that again I did in Horse Valley in Northern California. So you can see the scale. I mean, we don't only do campuses. We start doing, you know, one little courtyard. We start doing one little podium. We start, yeah, and then we finish up doing, you know, large community plans. That's how wide a spectrum landscape architect, and we have fun too. I mean, look at these iconic landscapes. It's not all serious stuff. We have fun with color, texture, symbolism. We use sculpture to highlight our landscapes. We, of course, worry about ecology, but we also worry about placemaking. So this is a fabulous pool of faculty that will be teaching you in the landscape program. The vertical columns are the different baskets of subjects that we have, and we will be following up with another webinar where I will talk to you about the entire course structure, how our entire 2-year program is structured, and so please do attend that. So each of these, the design studio, the theory and method, environmental factors, social factors, details of design, electives, all of these form baskets, and how have we come to those baskets? I will be explaining that in the next, in the third webinar, not the next one. So what architects are calling nature-based solutions in cities are actually what? It's landscape architecture by another name. Landscape architecture is also landscape urbanism by another name. Landscape as architecture, Charles Walden talks about it. Landscape architecture is also about environmental ethics, about social justice. Why? Because nature itself is fair. Nature doesn't say, I am going to feed you and not you. So landscape architecture ought to take some cues from nature, if I can say that. Here is some student work, and I'm very proud of our students. So this is just semester wise. I'm not going to run you through. I'm just going to show you little vignettes of what our students have been doing semester 1. So one thing I want to tell you that we start in semester 1 with a site specific design, and all the other subjects, all the other core baskets feed into the design studio. Much like what you would do in a running practice of landscape architecture, right? You do research and then you feed it into your design, exactly the same paradigm. This was designing a university campus. How do you design, as a landscape architect, a bound site that has boundaries? So this was that. Again, the next year's students doing that, and the third year's students doing that. This was also the third year students doing that. This was last year's students doing the same university campus designs. Semester 2, we go on from the site-specific scale to a city-specific scale. So our city scale and complexity increases. And we do our second semester design with the community. We ask the community what will make the city a better city for them. So these are all vignettes of our participatory design studio. The same, different layers that we study. How do we come up with a landscape design? I mean, it is not arbitrary. It is very well informed, very researched. This is just showing you the different processes we went to, met stakeholders, went on radio, community radio station. By the way, as I speak, our students are on AIR FM right now, talking to them about what we are doing in Gurgaon in Rethink Urban Streets. So this is Rethink Urban Streets, how landscape architecture interfaces at the urban scale to make the city better. We also do what we call grading and drainage to understand how drainage has to be worked. Why are cities flooding so much? One of the issues a landscape architect knows the answer to. So we have to get involved at city levels to solve these very solvable issues in our cities. These are images of us at the Pradeep Sachdeva office. Very sorry, but Professor Sachdeva is no longer with us, but what a pleasure it was working with him. We actually went there and showcased what we were doing on the ground. We
I think there's some network lag from Ekta ma'am's end.
Yes.
I'll call her up.
Raktim, is she presenting or are you
Yes, she is
guys? Oh,
presenting.
she's presenting. Okay,
Yes, yes.
we'll just wait for another then 2 to 3 minutes. I think
Yeah.
she'll log back in.
Sure, sure. Apologies for the lag. I'm trying to connect with Ekta ma'am. I'll just get back to all of you.
Yeah, please, everyone, please stay on and hang in. These are things that I think now a lot of you are used to. It does happen. Little unfortunate. Maybe the electricity went or something. Give us few more minutes. Yeah, she's there. Ekta, are you with us?
She's having some network issues for past few days when she's
She
not.
is, I know.
And
Yeah, I think
she's
she's
back.
with us now. Yes.
so sorry.
Yeah, we were just waiting for you to come back
So
patiently.
yeah. So where did I lose you?
So you were at Pradeep Sachdeva's slide.
Slide. I think she's stuck again.
Hear me, you guys? Sorry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oops.
We can hear you thrice.
Can you tell me which slide?
Now, ma'am, we were on Pradeep Sachdeva's slide.
Oh, okay. And now it's not letting me share a window.
Ma'am, probably if you can send the PDF to either me or Arjun, I mean, we'll present and you can share your narrative on that.
Or alternatively, maybe you can try in another browser, maybe Microsoft Edge or Firefox, so that you get the permission in the browser.
Now it's working. Just confirm, please.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, you can hear me and see me?
Yes.
I apologize for that. I'm trying to show you full screen. I don't know. Okay, can you see? How do I turn off my sound here? It's not letting me turn it off.
Just press the volume button all the way down.
Volume button is down. Audio off. Is it better?
The voice is still echoing now.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. It's not going off. Let me put my phone away. I had it with me just because I was getting people to
join in.
Yeah, so I'm going to disconnect from my phone. So sorry. So had I shown you this slide?
No.
Okay, so I was just, sorry, I've lost my train of thought, but talking about having lots of fabulous speakers and guest professors to come and talk to us and inspire us happens all the time. Showing you Professor Gregory Burgess here, who works with the indigenous people in Australia. And he's an architect, very, very accomplished architect. So he visited us, we did a workshop with him. What you see on the right, we did an MOU with MCG in Gurgaon in doing the design for the roundabouts near our campus. And we offered to maintain them, our university. And these are some of our site visits with our students. And semester 2, as I said, we move on from a site scale to a city scale of how landscape delivers at a city scale. And how do we make a city a better city? I'm not going to be able to show you videos through my PDF. So when we finish and we have time, I will go to my PPT and share some videos the students made, and they're fabulous. You can see lots of, this is our students during their internships and doing some activism. This is at the Aravali Biodiversity Park. Semester 3. So as I said, our site scale and complexity increases. Semester 3, we move on from a city scale to a regional scale. And we do what we call suitability mapping. Yes, landscape architects work at that scale. Yes, we know how to study the land and decide what is suitable for construction, development, what is the carrying capacity of a certain site. So this is semester 3's work, and these are some of the layers we study from topography, vegetation, hydrology, and what you see on the right We are coming up with what is suitable for how many people and how much development in terms of percentage of development. And then we come up with suitability for a particular land use, not just suitable for construction, suitable for a particular land use. That is how committed we are to finding that correct site for intervention. This is the regional scale, as I told you, and we worked on the Delhi-Gurgaon border. Because what happens at where borders come, you know, they get left behind. So we actually looked at that. Again, another video I will share from my PPT. Semester 3, because we are working at the ecological scale, regional and ecological scale, we have you engage with a NGT lawyer. She will teach you what are the laws that can come to our aid. I mean, we are so committed to making a difference at every scale. We are teaching you environmental law. No other landscape architecture course really takes you deep into laws and case laws and what is critical for us to look at sites, and how can we advise our clients about which site to actually develop or not. These are some of the real time initiatives we took in our elective called Apni Sadak. Some of our students, what you see on the right, in our third semester, so we have fun too. In our third semester, we have a course that's called Landscape Representation, in which we study how landscape has been represented in all media, from art and literature to architecture to manuscripts from, you know, our Vedas. I mean, you will actually enjoy this because we actually try and replicate a landscape of that time. Design thesis, of course. Design thesis is your baby. You pick your own thesis topic and thesis site, and the sky is the limit in terms of what all you can achieve. On the right is some of the projects the first batch took upon to solve. This is the second batch, from healing landscapes to degraded landscape to urban greens to sacred landscapes, more degraded landscapes, cultural landscapes, water ecology. How do landscape architects work at that ecological scale where they can help water and the issues of water? So these are some of the projects of the thesis. This is a photograph of a jury we had. This is all master's programs. You can see BH, UD, IA, LA. We took up different parts of Gurgaon and we called it the Gurgaon Living Lab. And we tried to find ways to intervene and help Gurgaon. This is some of our work, the photograph on top where students are actually having fun finding typos of their classmates, to the photograph under that where two students that stood first and second in their thesis, showcasing in our degree program at India Habitat Center. The picture on your bottom right is our students started an NGO and started helping the squatter children around our campus, teaching them. This is Diwali. They did a little workshop with them, teaching them how to make paper lanterns and art and stuff. So we are trying in every possible way to make our urban experience a better one. So this is in our studio, from juries to classes, to internal submissions, to students showing off their work in the top middle with us on campus, in workshops with ITDP, with Gregory Burgess, with actually going out of our campus and having fun and making a difference. The picture on the top left, we went to a school and showcased our Rethink Urban Streets to the community so that we could all come together. The other pictures are at site visits or my house or a cafe where we actually held a class, to doing activism about pollution, the top left, to visiting offices. And so it's not just in and out, it's also online. This was last semester. Everything was online. The picture on the top right is our faculty meeting online, and the other three are guest lectures or studios. Our readers, we have a reader. Every subject puts together a reader so that we get pertinent readings. So every week we actually go through the reader and we come up with very fun discussions. These are some of the nice things our students are saying about our program. And yes, I'm showing off some lovely testimonials. Visiting faculty from our jurors. This is us on social media. This is on 5th of May, please, Arjun Kamal will head it. It should be fascinating.
Sorry, ma'am, to poke in between. If you can turn off your camera so that your sound is loud and clear to all of us.
Just in the couple of last couple of slides, your voice was broken. So can you just repeat them? Turn off the camera and repeat what was the content. I think she's facing a network issue again.
Seems like that. And this is a very, I would say, very amazing slide to stop on.
Which one? Which slide am I on for you?
We were talking about all the testimonials from all the students and, of course, our offices where students have done their internship. Yeah, we were on this slide, social media.
Oh, okay. So just telling you that we have a webinar on May 5th, 4 p.m., which Arjun will lead. It's called Landscape and Public Health. Please join us for that. It should be fascinating. One last question. Did the participants answer questions we asked earlier?
Ma'am, could you repeat your question?
We had asked 2 questions.
Yeah.
Did any of the participants, can everybody turn on their cameras firstly? Can everyone turn on their cameras, guys? Now is the time to have a conversation. So I had asked a few questions and I had asked you to answer on the chat. Did you guys do that? Turn on your camera so I can see you. And if you did, please put your thumbs up. If you didn't, put your thumbs down. And if you intend to, you can do your thumbs halfway. So Arjun and Raktam, can you tally the A, B, C, D, E, wala? If anybody answered.
That question was answered by Ritika ma'am. She has chosen 3 options, B, C, and D. And none of the participants answered that, except from ma'am. And the second question, everyone.
Second question?
In the second question, 3 people answered yes. Sakshi, Ritika ma'am, and Priyansh.
Okay, so I'm glad we're on the same page. And the last question I'm going to ask you is, if landscape important to you after today's webinar, do you think it makes sense as a profession? Yes or no? Whether or not you're going to join our program, I'm not asking you yes or no, are you joining Sushant's landscape program? I'm asking you, do you think after today's presentation, you think landscape is a profession of value? Yes or no? Sakshi says yes. Yes. Ritika says makes me join even more. Thank you, Ritika. Arohan, Priyansh. Okay. So you guys have any questions? I have left 10 minutes. I'm so sorry for the technological issues we had today. I mean, I have classes every day of the week and it never happens. आज ही होना था. I'm sure Wednesday को जब अर्जुन present कर रहा है नहीं होएगा. Jishnu, do you understand Hindi? Someone is trying to join. How do I see? It says someone is trying to.
So you can just click on the admit button. There will be yes or no or something like that. Admit and deny buttons appear at the top.
Please turn on your sound and ask the question, guys. कैसे admit करते हैं अर्जुन?
There is at the top you will be having some pop-up which will display the participant's email address, and you will have the options of admit and deny. So you can click on admit.
Give me the till now. So
it was showing. It was flashing on your screen when you were using your mobile phone. Sure.
Yes. I was letting people in. Then
we have one question from Ritika ma'am. For all
Ritika,
of us.
please turn on your sound and ask the question. And can everybody else turn on their cameras? And Priyansh has a question too. Please turn on your cameras and your audios and ask the question. Ritika, your sound is off. Ritika, you need to turn on your sound. Go to the bar at the bottom where the camera and the audio, the speaker. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now, considering this program involves so much of interaction, how do we propose to do it online? Because the next couple of months still seem very sour.
So we'll only start in August, and you can see my fingers crossed. We are going to hope that we are back on campus. And if for some reason we cannot join right away, it is okay. It is okay because what we were doing even last semesters, all the Delhi people, we used to get together and go on a site visit carefully with social distancing, with our masks on. In our this semester, current semester, the students were here till 2 weeks ago. Hello. So students were here till 2 weeks ago. So we did a participatory workshop charrette on the street. I mean, yes, we haven't been able to go back and showcase our work to them. But, we'll do the best we can. And any semester where we can't finish doing a certain component of our semester, we'll add it to the next semester. So we'll make sure that we, complete our learnings.
Okay, that'll be wonderful. And when do we propose to start the program in August?
We don't know the dates, Ritika, right now. Usually by mid-August. Last year, we started 18th of August for the second year and 1st of September for the first year. Just because of the lockdown, we had to defer one of the years.
Do you want us to do any prior stuff before joining the program?
Read. It'll be fabulous. And as a matter of fact, I mean, I'm happy to show you our reader right now. If we have time, I'll show you what our reader looks like. So we have 16 weeks, we have 16 readings. 16 times 4. 16A, 16B, 16C, 16D. So I have done all the hard work for you. So imagine you're reading 50 books in one reader. So yeah, it's a lot of hard work, and yeah, so nobody has the excuse that I am not a good reader or I don't read.
No, I just want to know, considering you're going to join in August and definitely this lockdown, we're at home right now. So can we shared some part of your readers now?
So we are, what I'll do is we are going to have a webinar, and in the webinar for all the master's programs, we'll send readings and we'll discuss the readings. So I will send you those readings. Okay? I'll send them to Deepti. Actually, we are waiting for those who have already joined the program. We'll send them to those people. I'll tell Deepti to do that. Sure.
That'd be wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions, guys? And you guys can, Jishnu, how are you? Are you in Assam? Are you in Guwahati?
Yes, he is. You are on mute, Jishnu.
Jishnu, if you can turn on your sound and talk to us. Sakshi, Priyansh, Arohan, we'd love to hear you. Any questions? Jishnu?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Now I'm in Insecure, taking Assam.
He's in Assam right now.
Breaking the sound.
Yeah.
You want to write on the chat any question you have? You can always call us anytime. Okay? Anytime you have a question. Don't call us middle of the night, please. But during office hours, okay? Okay, the rest are very quiet. Okay, I think that's it. No questions. Priyansh has his hand up. Priyansh, what?
Sorry, I clicked that button by mistake. But I
By
had
mistake.
that same thing, like what we had to do before joining the master's program.
I thought you were being political. One of our political parties has the hand, no? I'm kidding. All right.
Ma'am, yes, my question was that only, like what we have to do prior before joining the program. And, like,
yeah. So just do some reading. I've shown you the spectrum of our profession. I've shown you how wide our profession is. I mean, literally the sky is the limit. Right?
Yes.
So do reading, just familiarize yourself with the kind of work our profession does. In the third semester, you will be doing a research paper where you will do research and do writing. It's a 5,000 word research paper. So you have to, in the first 2 semesters, understand how you're going to be able to do research, come up with. So get used to reading and analyzing for yourself, and maybe writing about it if you want. That might be a nice thing to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead, Jishnu.
I don't have a question, but I want to show you something.
Sure.
Arjun,
Yes, I'm here. Yes, Jishnu.
I actually want to show you something.
Arjun, we have
Okay.
Jish.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
glad you bought it.
Yes. So I did buy this, and this book actually helped me.
Okay, glad to know
I
that.
just wanted to show you this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Really
Okay.
glad to see
So,
you in
you
my
know,
book in a
Arjun,
webinar.
we have certain students that I have interviewed that are so fancy in the number of software they have tried. So I think as a department, we are going to do lots of exploration. Okay, Arjun,
Yes, definitely.
under your command.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much. And you know,
Okay.
we had a radio broadcast on AIR FM Rainbow today with two of our students talking about our Rethink Urban Streets initiative. And I missed that radio broadcast because I was in this webinar. But once I get the recording, I will share it with you guys. Please listen to how we are trying to make a difference as a department. Okay? And please join us on the 5th for landscape and public health. Thank you. Thanks all of you. Can I see everybody just for a quick 1 second so that I can take a screenshot with everybody here? Thank you, Priyansh. You're very, very sporting. Ritika, you too. Ye Arohan or Sakshi ko. Thank you, Sakshi. Arohan, come on, for that 1 second, I want to take a screenshot with everybody. Oh, Ritika left. Sakshi? Thank you, thank you, thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
So did you
Nice
enjoy
to
the
see all of
webinar?
you.
Can you
Yes.
say, did you enjoy the webinar? Thumbs up, thumbs down, or not so much? And I will take another screenshot. Raktim, please do it because my network's really bad.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Just a second. Let me just take another screen grab.